Hi everyone, it's Sharon Goulet here from Digital Nomad Wannabe. I'm coming live to you from Melbourne, Australia. I'm in my new desk actually. I've been waiting, I've probably said on here before, I've been going to go back to the office I used to rent. It's just taking a really long time to be ready. So I've actually kind of got off the idea now. I've set myself up in another sort of office space at home. I'm quite happy here. But anyway, so yeah, I'm here in Melbourne, nice sunny day. And I'm here to talk about products. So this mini lesson is all about why you don't need a huge audience to make money from your own products. Okay, so this week on Digital Nomad Wannabe, you can find a blog post on how to create the perfect product that your audience will love. And that steps through what you can do to come up with a great product idea. Okay, because products I think are just fabulous for bloggers. You know, I love affiliate marketing and you're never going to hear me say a bad word about it really. But at the same time, products offer some advantages over that. They also offer cons. I mean, you've got to create the product. But you do have the advantage that you own it, you have more control, you take more money from it. Obviously, you know, you might have to pay a cut to like PayPal or someone if you sell it through them, but it's not like an affiliate commission where you might, you know, in travel blogging, we get a few percent, right? Like, even in the stuff I recommend on Digital Nomad Wannabe, it can go up to 50%, but it's still 50%, right? Compared to 100%. So there's a lot of bonuses there. Or what I really love about products too is that you can get paid immediately, so you're not waiting months. So there's some great things and great reasons why I really wish I'd got on the product bandwagon a lot earlier. But yeah, today I'm really going to talk about why you don't need a huge audience, okay? Because I see in Facebook groups all the time, you know, you can't monetize until you have X number of people, or just really bad advice on this topic. Okay, you don't need to have a certain number of people to start monetizing, and products are a really good way to go about it even at the beginning, I think, because you really don't need many people to make money from products, because you are taking all the money and you can create higher end products that are worth a lot of money and all of that too. So it can be great when you're starting out. It's even better later on. You know, if you've already got an audience, it'll be even easier. So there's no reason to wait. So yeah, like I said, I know this from personal experience, and I'm going to just talk through some numbers of my own blog, not to show off, but to just show you what is possible and to sort of dispel some of these myths that you need to have like a huge audience. So, you know, I made over US $50,000 earlier this year within a few months from one product. Okay, now how many readers a month do you think I'd need on my blog to be able to do that? You know, like 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million. Like, what do you think? Well, I'm going to tell you that it's possible from 3,000 a month. Okay, so this is on digitalnomadwannabe.com. It's not on Where Sharon. I don't have any products on Where Sharon. So Digital Nomad Wannabe, I get about 3,000 readers a month. That's all. And I was able to make that much, you know, and I am confident that I'm going to get to 6 figures from selling products this year from that blog with 3,000 readers a month. So you certainly don't need a huge number to be able to make products work. Okay, what you need is an engaged audience that trusts you. Now, I think the trust aspect is especially important with products, especially if you're going to sell something, you know, like if you're selling something for $2, you know, it probably doesn't matter. If you want to, you know, sell something for more than that, you're going to need to build trust. Now, I hear people talk about this all the time with affiliate marketing. And with affiliate marketing, I just actually don't believe that. It's not my experience. As long as you look trustworthy, affiliates work, because, you know, like a lot of my affiliate income comes from someone going to my site from Google, clicking on a link and then going straight off and buying. So I'm not building a relationship with them. They don't really care who I am. They just want my information to seem legitimate. And it is, like, I don't make things up, you know, and they go and spend money that way. Now, with products, like I said, you might get away with it with really low-end ones, but generally you need to have that trust. You need to be seen like you know what you're talking about, and you're going to need to build a relationship over a little bit more time than just one blog post. So that comes into play more there. So yeah, what you always want to be working on if you want to take the product route is trust and engagement, and definitely an email list. Okay, because that's the easiest way to keep talking to your readers and your target audience and all that. An email list means you can keep having a conversation with them. And that's how I would view an email list, rather than like, okay, people in my group often like that they worry about they're going to bother people when they email them. like, just don't write anything that's bothering them, right? Like, write useful, helpful information and they'll be happy to hear from you. And don't be afraid to, you know, they gave you their email address. They didn't have to, they want to hear from you. So yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of a side topic, but email list is definitely really important for products. In saying that, I was only emailing about 500 people for the, like, it's my niche site course that did that well. Like, so 500 people was all I was emailing to do that as well. You know, 3,000 people a month on my blog, 500 people that I had in my sales funnel. So you don't need big numbers. But what's important is that you really do get that right product, right? That you understand your audience, what they want, what you can help them with. So, you know, even with the small audience, I was able to work out what they wanted. And the way I did that initially was with a survey. So I had a survey last year and I managed to get a couple of hundred responses. I offered a prize, like, so that, you know, one person would get drawn out and they'd get like a $50 voucher, and that was really effective. And it was really great. So it helped me learn their pain points and, you know, the different ideas I had at the time I presented to them. And where I will say it was a bit unreliable was how much money they would pay, because most people said they'd pay less than $50. And like, I'm not working out a whole course, right, to just sell it for $50. But that didn't turn out to be true. People were happy to pay more if you show them quality and you show that you're an authority and you know what you're talking about and that you can really help them. Now, as well, I would also just say on this too, that there is a big benefit to building a product. So even earlier this year when I just built my book, and, you know, it's pretty cheap, it's done well, but like, it's not like you'd quit your job over that, right? But what it was really great for was making me an authority. So it was a good launch pad for other things I did. And that's a way you can go as well. You know, don't feel like you have to create the biggest product in the world first off. Create a book, you know, see how it goes. If it goes well, then, you know, think about a higher price product off that. So that's some things you can consider as well. Because yeah, what was great about the book was people started seeing me as an authority, you know. It was a bit strange to me. I hadn't thought about it beforehand, because I'm like, I know just as much now as what I did before I wrote the book in February, but people just saw me differently. They talked about me more. You know, I kept seeing my name mentioned in Facebook groups when it had never happened before. So it was really great from that perspective. So I wouldn't even write off something like an ebook. You know, it can just help you be seen as an authority, and it really takes it to a different level than just writing blog posts. So anyway, work with what you have. You know, a smaller audience does make it easier to sort of connect with them, to understand what they're doing. You know, like I said, I did a survey. Now what's really gold for me is the Facebook group that I have. You know, I get to see every day what people want to know and how I can help them. So that's really helped me come up with some ideas for future products. But, you know, I didn't have that group when I created my existing products. So it wasn't necessary to have the success. So yeah, what else have I written down? Sorry, I just want to make sure I cover everything. Now, if you do create a product and, you know, it doesn't work out how you want, really try and work out why. You know, ask people, send them a survey. I have a survey after like my courses, you know, and even like after the first run of the course. For niche sites, you know, it was great getting that feedback. A lot of it I already knew because I'm active in the Facebook group for it, so I kind of knew where problems were. But, you know, then I was able to improve, so the next time, you know, these problems won't come up again. So, I mean, it was still a success. But yeah, I mean, I could make it even better. And if it's a flop, it's like even more reason to do that. There's also a lot you can do around the trust aspect, I found. So the first course I brought out this year, my sponsored post one, you know, it didn't do nearly as well. I kind of just had in my mind, oh yeah, the book's done well, this will do well. And because I saw so much value in the sponsored post course, because people were going to get contacts and they would, you know, and I was guaranteeing they'd make their money back. And I knew they could make a lot more money than that from it. I just thought other bloggers would see that value too. And I didn't really sell it very well because of that. And what I learned was when I launched it kind of again and I did another push, what I did was I put a whole lot of blog content out on that topic just to help me be seen as an authority. You know, I did live, I did a challenge. I just did more to show off what I knew so that people trusted me and thought that it was worth doing. And then I had a lot more sales. So even if it flops the first time, it doesn't even necessarily mean the product's bad. Maybe just how you've gone about it is bad, you know? I just needed to just grow that bit more trust and authority in that area, and then it was all good. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is even if your first product doesn't work, you know, think about like, is it the product's wrong? Is it a wrong match for your audience? Okay, how can you work that out? Who can you talk to in your audience? Is there anyone you could even hop on the phone to and have a chat to that's your target audience? And if your audience is really tiny or you're just starting, you know, do you have a friend or a family member that would be that target audience? Can you talk to them about it? And see what you can learn that way. But yeah, was the product necessarily a wrong fit? Or maybe you just went about it wrong how you sold it. Maybe you just need to grow your authority more. How can you do that? Can you bring out a cheaper book or something? Or can you do Facebook Live like this? You know, I mean, you tell me, I think seeing someone's face like this, they seem more trustworthy. And yeah, I mean, I answer questions on the fly, so, you know, I've got to know what I'm talking about. So all those things help with trust. So yeah, and one of the other pluses, I think, if you've got a small audience or you're just starting out with products, and I find this with affiliate marketing too, then you know who your target audience is already, and if you focus on attracting them rather than just people in general, you'll end up with a much better audience for your blog anyway. You know, you'll have that engaged audience that is exactly your target audience. So, you know, to me, that's much better than having 100,000 people on your site that aren't that best fit, that are never going to buy your products, they're never going to use your affiliate links. So there can be an advantage from being really clear from the beginning. You know, this is what I want to sell, and this is who I want to, like, follow me and listen to me, and who I can help, and this is how I'm going to do it. So yeah, I mean, that's what I've got to say about why you don't necessarily need a big audience. There's a little bit about marketing in there. But yeah, I mean, I really think you should consider products. So again, like I said, we're about to do a product creation challenge in the Facebook group. So definitely join up. I'll put the link underneath to that. And definitely join up, you know, come in the group, think about building a product, you know, go through what type of product might work for your audience. And then at that point, you can even decide if it's something that you think will work, or maybe you think it'll work in future. You don't have the time right now, but, you know, start putting those building blocks in place, because even what you can do if you've come up with the idea for a product, but don't have time to do it right now, you can start building up that content on your site that shows off what an authority you are. You know, you can start building a Facebook group around it. You could start doing some of the marketing now, even if you don't have time to build the product yet. So it's really worth just going through and thinking about that. Now, I did forget to say at the beginning that I'll answer questions, but I'll always answer questions. If anyone listening has one, put it up. I do have a couple of questions from Kylie that she wrote in the Facebook group, so I'm going to go through those. Any ideas on hitting the sweet spot between underselling yourself but not alienating potential purchasers, particularly if you're definitely a subject matter expert but have an even teenier audience base than yours to market to? I wonder if you really do have a teenier base. I think people just assume I have more readers than what I have. But anyway, that's a different topic. Now, I think it's really important here not to undersell yourself, because there's actually like big disadvantages. One, you know, the first product I ever created a couple of years ago, it was a presentation, and I really undersold that. So I was actually quite bitter, even at myself, or any complaints I got at it, because I'm like, you know, this is like $20. It was the crux of what I do, the product. It was like SEO and how to use that with affiliate marketing. So it really was the secret to my success. And it even started out at $12 initially and then went to $20. And I had a lot of complaints, but it was too expensive because people expected stuff for free. Because I think the problem was I priced it so cheap that people didn't realize that it was actually valuable information, that they were going to get a lot out of it. They see the cheap price tag and it makes you think cheap information. So you do have to think about that aspect with pricing. Do you really want to be seen as the cheapest person on the market for something? I think you're underselling yourself as an authority, and people are going to see you as less of an authority. You know, it happened to me, like how I saw someone recently. I was looking for a coach. You know, I really want someone to help me take my business to the next level. And one of the people I approached and I found out about their program because I thought she'd be a good fit for me. I go read her program, and it was just too cheap. And it wasn't cheap, it was expensive. But I need someone who's expensive. I know that. I want to learn from the best, right? And I'm like, I wouldn't value my time like that. So if you're willing to value your time like that, then it makes me think you're not more successful than me. So why would I want to learn from you? So hopefully that makes sense. The price is really important to that. So definitely don't undersell yourself. I wouldn't want to be the cheapest person on the market for something. I want to be the best person on the market for something. And it doesn't mean you have to be the most expensive either, but your price should reflect, what you're bringing to the table. And I think that purchasers do think about that you know, I mean, it does depend what you're buying. If you're just buying something where you don't care about the quality, then you might just want the cheapest thing. But when you care about quality, you don't tend to want the cheapest thing, and you shouldn't price yourself like that. So yeah, I think I've just covered all the notes I took on that. Definitely you want to be seen as having the best product. I mean, you do still need to be competitive, so people will buy it, so look at what your competitors are doing, but don't be afraid to even go above them. You just wouldn't want to go way above. I don't know what you're thinking of selling, but I can definitely say with courses as well. I find as well, you know, my success as running courses depends on the success of people that I'm helping, right? They have a great experience and they get a lot of success from doing the course, then that's when I'll have success, you know, because I'll tell people about it. They'll say it was great. They'll get great word of mouth. You know, it's also obviously very satisfying for me as well and for them. I really do want them to have success. So for me, that also means I don't want to be the cheapest course out there. I want to attract like people who are really serious about this, you know. And so the people who pay a bit more money, they're more serious, you know. It makes people be more engaged. They have more buy-in. And so I also think having the higher price there, you know, helps me attract the more serious people that are going to work hard and I have more chance of success, which helps me have success as well. So I find that really important. You know, like it's been discussed a little bit in the group, someone who bought out a niche site course that had, you know, just followed my case study online around the same time as me, and they positioned it the same. Even their second launch was at the same time as me. I really don't know why. And really they're just going for a lower price tag. Now, you know what, it just didn't bother me because I'm like, if someone would rather pay a couple $100 less but get someone who that hasn't proven at all that they know what they're talking about, then they're probably not the right fit for me anyway. You know, I want those serious people. I don't want people who just want to pay the lowest price possible. I want people who are serious about success and will pay what it takes to get there. So anyway, that's my thoughts around pricing. I hope that helps. If you're going to also offer an affiliate program with your product, what sort of commission structure should you look at? Is there a general rule of thumb or is it more product dependent? Okay, yeah, it's a tricky one this because I had to try and work it out myself. The way I see it is as someone who sells products and has affiliates and as someone who is an affiliate to a lot of things. Obviously, the more money you give someone, the more they're going to put effort into selling it. So, you know, there's an advantage there, but obviously you end up with less money. So I guess it depends how much you need affiliates to push your product. Like if I didn't have much of an audience myself that I thought I could sell to, I would put a much higher commission and try and get other people to sell it. I would also probably vary the commission based, if you can, it depends on the program, based on who it is. Like if you could find someone who's like, you know, an authority in that niche that has a really large following and you know would be really good, I'd be more willing to offer them a higher percentage just to really try and get them promoting it because it, you know, it could be more lucrative for you. You need to look at what your competitors offer, you know, or, you know, especially if you're in the case like like what I just talked about. If there's someone in the niche who would be great at promoting it, do they already promote something similar? You know, what do they pay? You might need to go higher to attract them. So you need to look at all of that. I guess you just got to really think about what percentage and how much money that is at the end of the day. Is someone going to need to really put effort into it? Because if it's just low and they're just going to put a few links on their sites, it's probably not going to really help. What you really want is someone who's going to push it hard, send it to their email list, all those types of things. That's why I think it could be quite, if you can, you'd have more success by doing it on a case-by-case basis. The other way you could work it out is just to ask people who would be the affiliates you want, what type of, you know, before you even create the product perhaps, so it's more of a like theoretical conversation, how much they'd need to earn to do X, Y, Z for something. So hopefully that helps. Now I haven't seen any questions come up on this, so I'll just double check on my computer because sometimes they don't pop up on the live and it's really annoying. So I'll just see if I can see any on the computer. But make sure you come and do the product creation challenge. Like I said, I'll put a link below. Nope, I can't see any comments there. But of course you can just ask questions after and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Hey, no problem, Kylie. So come and learn about products and think about creating your own. See you next week or the week after.